Catholic influencer tier list.
Here we go.
So
the highlight.
Yeah, the listeners don't know this, but my original first video I wanted it to be for this channel was me doing a tier list of all the Catholic influencers, and I wanted that to be like a super controversial video, and like I was gonna have like horrible takes on purpose to cause controversies to drum up engagement on the video. I wanted it to be like rage bait for like all the fans of Pints with Aquinas or like I don't know, Reason and Theology, what the fucking Lofton's podcast or whatever.
You know, as soon as we name drop Taylor Marshall, there's going to be a video next week. It's only going to be 5 minutes about how he's mad that we talked about him, and the rest of the hour is going to be all super chats and him like fighting with his mic.
Dude, Taylor Marshall, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the show.
Dude, we love you.
We love you, dude. You're so great. The Alex Jones to the Trad-sphere. we need you. And Anthony Stein of Return to Tradition. You're an amazing man. Seriously, I love your videos.
You're S tier, bro.
I know you're not fucking listening, but if you were, I want you to know that. So, okay, so we have a decent list. I made a tier list myself, and I'm going to have to do a lot of editing on the back end to make this look good. Let me bring it up here. I'm going to pause the recording really quick. All right, so we're looking at this tier list here. So we have, in the top, we have S tier, which I've changed to Saint tier. S tier is Saint tier, and then we just have A, B, C, D. Instead of F, we have Fiery Area. I'm not saying that they'd go to hell. I'm just saying it doesn't look good. And then we have Awaiting Judgment, which is anyone that we haven't passed judgment on yet. So I put Fulton Sheen and Anthony Stein in Saint tier. Obviously, Fulton Sheen is actually in the beatification process. Yes. Anthony Stein's not dead yet, but I think he is just so consistent with his uploads. I think he deserves honorable mention being put there, because he's like, instead of having to read every single article that comes out about like Pope Francis or something, this guy can read it to me every morning, and he uploads every day. Yeah. I mean, this guy is putting in the freaking work, and I know he has like a family of his own. This is like his main. That's how he's the main breadwinner. So, and he has that Buc-ee's mug.
I was gonna say Buc-ee's is where it's at.
Buc-ee's. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Is that? I think that makes.
I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah. All right, I see on your tier list, we got Viganò up. All right.
He's in A. He's actually in A. Excommunicated now.
Yeah, so what do we do about that? We got to talk about this.
Maybe we move him up to S and excommunicated. Or X tier, excommunicated tier.
The modern Lefebvre.
I don't know. Maybe that's a little too much credit.
A little too much, yes. Yeah. I will admit.
He didn't single-handedly save the Latin Mass.
No, he did not. To his credit, though, he got rid of a lot of schmucks.
He shook shit up.
Yeah, he really did.
And another one of those American Empire things. Now, obviously, he's not American himself, but he was the papal nuncio to the United States. So he was the one constantly interacting with Bush and Obama. Obama. He was interacting with their administrations. But yeah, so he also broke the whole McCarrick case. That was his doing.
Yeah, and he also helped Benedict with the bank scandal, kind of unravel that.
This guy is like, he's like a character in the Da Vinci Code almost. Like he's almost like that. Like he's like some like Tom Clancy-esque character.
Yeah. In
the political intrigue. So I don't know. I think he deserves at least A.
Even amidst his excommunication.
He's been very influential, right? Yeah. I don't know, his excommunication, like, we'll see what happens, right? Maybe under another pope.
I would personally maybe put him in B after that.
Okay.
He
went a little too hard, too fast?
Yeah. I mean, I think the charges are bullshit.
Okay, so, I mean, all right, at least A, if not B.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think B, maybe? I think he would be, like, in the line, maybe, in between, I'd say.
Yeah. Put him there.
All right, next up, Mother Angelica. I think she deserves A.
I think, yeah, no,
She was very base.
I think she should almost be Saint tier. I think she's on that line.
That might have been my mistake, putting her in the A tier. I think if she was around now, and she was like, let's say she was like 20 years younger or something, and she was still alive, she would be super pissed.
Oh, yeah.
EWTN would be like Trad News Network. It would be insane. She'd be like going off all the time. So, yeah, okay, so S tier. Okay, I'd move her back up. Dr. Peter K. I've had the pleasure of meeting him in person a few times.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. I wanted to go.
Yeah, he didn't have any of his books for sale, unfortunately, but I've talked to him. He's a great guy. I mean, he is our poet laureate for the trad movement. He puts into writing what we say very bluntly.
This might be a little bit ambitious, but I would say potential S tier.
We're just putting everyone in S tier, aren't we? If you're trad, S. If you're not, F. Okay, I think A, just because like he's still working, he's still doing his stuff. He's in the middle. I mean, he's really getting big.
Yeah.
But subscribe to his Substack. Good stuff. Father Kappa. I mean, he's not really like he's not really big on the ideological sense, but dude, he's a jacked priest.
Dude, he's Bishop Barron's type. He's jacked. Have you noticed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you guys noticed Bishop Barron only hangs around jacked men, specifically cleric men?
Yeah, I will say this. He's not like he's got some muscle on him. I'll give credit where credit is due. Yeah. There's that picture of him wearing the short sleeve collar. Dude's got arms that rival mine.
Okay.
We'll get to him further down.
Yeah. Okay.
Father Coughlin. I don't know how much you know about him.
I don't really.
He was based. It's a whole other episode I could devote to. I have an A tier. If you know who I'm talking about, listener, look up some of his radio addresses. This guy was a big provocateur politically in the 30s and 40s. Wasn't a fan of FDR. Had some very spicy political opinions. I don't want to say much more before we get demonetized or something. Very interesting guy. All right, moving into B tier, we have Father Mike Schmitz.
The Reverend.
The Right Reverend. Father Mike Schmitz, who I've seen him in person.
You have him in B.
I have him in B.
You know?
That's a controversial position, maybe.
I would move him down.
Whoa. Okay. All right, give me these reasons.
He's a feminist.
Really? Okay.
I just finished Catechism in a year.
Citation.
And the whole section on when he actually brings up Ephesians 5.
All right, elucidate me. I'm sorry. I'm not a Protestant. I don't know. I don't know Ephesians 5 on the top of my...
Basically. Okay, listen. Wives, respect your husbands.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that verse. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You know the one that the Novus Ordo puts in brackets because you can't read it anymore.
Because it pisses off too many of the old ladies.
The Susans. Yeah. Anyways,
I can't believe you read that, Father.
But he puts men and women on the same level of equality, which obviously that's not traditional at all, and that's never what the church has taught.
Yeah, obviously, like everyone's equal in dignity as a human, but like the responsibilities of man and woman aren't equal.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
I'd move him down to probably the C tier.
Okay.
Just because of that.
Gotcha.
I do think a lot of his stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. Better than Barron.
Oh yeah, I would say he's better than Barron, but I would still put him in the same category just because of the feminist issue.
Gotcha. Well, I'll have to get my guys on that. I'll have to get my networks to influence him.
All right, Matt Fradd. What do we think about Fraddy?
I'm lighting my cigar again.
Yeah, his Peter Puffer went out.
my Peter. I need to Shit. Do you have your big matches?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, that's where they went. Okay, so Fradd. So I put him in B just because he's like the Joe Rogan of the Catholic influencer community, right? That's how I view him.
Okay.
And so my main thing with him is that he gives a platform to others because his views are like whatever. It's mainly who he gives a platform to, and he generally has a wide spread of people. I mean, he hosted a set of economists for a debate on his channel, which, to his credit, like is pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
Because you'll just piss off so many Novus Ordoites if you do that at all.
Yeah.
So that's why I give him a B on the basis alone of him giving a platform to a lot of people. I don't necessarily think his views are that great.
I think his views flip-flop depending on who he has on the show.
Just like Joe Rogan. He doesn't really have much of a hardcore opinion. He just tries to get the other person to talk, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I put him in B. I view him as that sort of guy.
Okay.
So I don't know if you had any disagreements with that. If you think that he just needs to stop smoking a cigar like 3 times a day, he's gonna die like Rush Limbaugh.
I like Fradd, but I mean I listen to him quite frequently actually.
Yeah.
I like the people that I like listening to the people that he has on and hearing their opinions and whatnot. But I'd keep him in B. I agree with you that he's B tier, but yeah, I think the thing that bothers me about him the most is probably that he doesn't have any hardline views. Everything is, just about whoever he has on. He flip-flops a lot on a lot of different issues.
I feel like he's pragmatic about that because he doesn't want to like alienate like a lot of his audience one way or the other. Because if he went out like full tilt trad, he'd like lose all the Novus Ordoites. If he went like full Novus Ordo, then trad just dog on him.
I heard him say something. I was listening to one of his. he was interviewed by Father Gregory Pine, who's a Dominican priest.
Yeah.
And he actually has him on his show a lot.
Yeah.
And Fradd at one point talks about how he's Byzantine Catholic. And
wait, Fradd's actually Bizcath?
Yeah, he's Bizcath.
Okay. I knew that he's like, I lump his type in with Franciscan University.
He was asked, and I thought this was brilliant, but he was taught, he classified himself as a traitor. And he went on to, he did. He said, I'm a traitor for leaving the Roman Rite.
Damn.
And he said, because I left what my inheritance was. But he said, but then again, I wasn't given anything to begin with.
Damn.
And that's hard.
Well, I think that actually says a lot maybe about what his real views are, if he actually went on record saying that.
Yeah.
That's actually really interesting. Okay, I almost feel like he maybe deserves A after hearing that. But he has said some cringe things about trads.
Yeah.
So maybe, I think B is very fitting. High B.
Do you think he LARPs as a trad sometimes?
I mean, he definitely, let's be real, the Puffs with Peter thing is mainly a joke against Pints with Aquinas, right? Like, that's kind of where I'm going with that. But, I don't know. No, I think he deserves high B. Yeah, I don't know if he necessarily LARPs. He definitely is in that, he's in our sphere. But just enough.
Yeah.
So, okay.
He's intellectual, for sure.
Yeah.
Or, not, excuse me, philosopher. I think he's a good philosopher.
He's more well-read. Yeah, I'll say that. All right, next up, I know you have very, very strong opinions. You might disagree with me putting him here. Trent Horn.
Awaiting judgment.
Now, here's the thing. Now, let me tell you why I put Trent Horn in B.
Okay.
So he wrote a book called Why We're Catholic.
Yep.
Which is, I think, is a very good introductory book if you're trying to get somebody to really see Catholicism.
Think about this.
Yeah,
okay.
Because it's very basic in its writing. It states a lot of positions very well. It addresses the most common questions, and it's a very entry-level book, and I think it's very good. I'll give him credit where credit is due, and that's why I put him there. And I think, for the most part, he definitely is good at debating the most popularly debated points of Catholic teaching, which are mainly about morality, sexual morality, and abortion. He does defend the unborn pretty well in his debates, and I think he can be a competent debater. He has said many cringe things, however.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for that book, he would be at least in C tier. All right, now you can go full tilt. Tell me why Trent Horn sucks. Major ass.
I think Trent Horn is complete booty cheeks.
Ooh.
Okay, I will say, like, I agree with you on the basics.
Yeah.
On the basics, he's good.
Yeah.
Like, he covers all the basics. But I think when he gets to the heart of like church politics, I think he just completely blows it.
That's true. He did the whole like Christ is King is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Which was super fucking cringe. He completely bowed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't even. How can you be a Christian, let alone like a Catholic Christian, and saying Christ is King is anti? I just like what?
He pretty much was saying that like Christ is King is turned into like the Nazi salute or some shit like that. That was like how
bullshit. That's complete bullshit. Christ is King.
Yeah. He was, he compared saying Christ is King to the takbir, like Allahu Akbar. Like he literally compared it to that. Which now here's the thing, even the takbir isn't wrong in its content.
Yeah.
All it says is God is the greatest. Our Muslim viewership just went up saying that. The Muslims are like, yes, Habibi, yes, Habibi.
They have the driest cigars.
Well, they can't smoke. They have the hookahs. Hookahs with, I don't know.
They just sell us dry cigars.
Yeah, that has been our experience.
And they keep Playboys in their humidors.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. To explain to
canceled.
Anyone
I'm canceled.
No. To explain to anyone listening, there's a 7-Eleven that we sometimes go to get cigars.
But yeah,
it's a Sunoco, and like it's ran by like Packies, and they have the worst humidor in the world. And they have cigars in there that are so old and dry.
Let's be honest, it's not even a humidor. It's a library for Playboy catalogs, and they have cigars in there.
And there's cigars in there too.
They're like so dry that it's like watching a Tom and Jerry episode where it like blows up in your face after you light it. Like,
yeah, you light it and like all of a sudden you're holding like the outer leaf and it's gone. It's horrible, but yeah. Okay,
anyways,
so Trent Horn, cringe, very cringe. So you think at least where would you put him?
I'd put him in D or C.
Damn. Okay. I guess we'll have to compromise.
I kind of almost like Jimmy Akin more than Trent Horn.
Really?
Yes.
This is gonna get interesting. Okay. All right. Well, Next up, Scott Hahn. I have him in B because he has like actually become more and more trad over time.
He's
become increased. Okay, I think that's valid.
Yeah,
valid, but is it licit?
I don't know. I just like to see him go full in. I mean, like he knows everything of the beauty of the tradition of the church.
He's talked about it a lot.
But he's still a regular attendee of the Novus Ordo, right?
Yeah, I think he goes to a TLM church now, actually.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I was listening to. It's been probably like 2 or 3 months now, but the last episode I listened to, he was talking about how he still goes to the Novus Ordo regularly, and he was talking about how it's like one of those unicorn masses. But I mean, you know how like I personally feel about that. Like,
yeah,
it's not. Like, I don't care. Like,
yeah,
great. Like, you have a unicorn mass, but like, your inheritance is the tradition of the church.
Yeah,
and like, and he knows the beauty of it, and he has books on the beauty of the tradition of the church. But like, and like, one of his sons is a priest, and he's got a daughter who's I think a nun.
Wow,
right? And he has another son discerning.
You know him. You know more about him than I do. Right?
Yeah, his kids.
I know his books.
His kids have a lot of religious. A lot of religious vocations have come out of his children. I think he's a great author. I've read
he has
some
really
of his
good books.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't crossed the threshold yet.
We have to remember too. He might have a really good community that he's a part of at that church.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not gonna I
mean, that's typical boomer.
Yeah, but it's like I can see there's like a valid argument there. I mean, hopefully we can obviously get to that beautiful day in the future when the tradition is fully restored in the liturgy. Right, we'll probably be like 70 years old by the time that happens, but we'll see. Yeah. So moving on from Mr. Hahn, we have a Canadian, which is probably the only negative thing about him, Brian Holdsworth. He's a ginger.
I don't regularly listen to his stuff.
He's trad. He's definitely trad.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think he's okay.
I put him in B just because, like, I don't know. He's like, he doesn't necessarily do anything really original, but he's not bad.
I mean, the coolest thing about him is I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but he has like some Crusader like armor and stuff. Like, I mean, he's ready to go back to the Holy Land whenever the Pope calls us back.
But he's in fucking Canada. Like, the fact that he's Canadian is like the worst thing about this guy. And that's not even really to any fault of his own. But yeah, he's in Canada. But I guess it's good to know there's someone up north that's not a complete shitbag.
Yeah. Can you even be Catholic and live in Canada anymore?
Trudeau's Catholic. What are you talking about?
Wait,
don't you know all the based Quebecois?
Trudeau. You're talking about the Black Canadian Catholic?
Put the picture on the screen. Yeah. Oh man, it's so sad what's happened to Quebec, dude. They used to be one of the most based places ever. They had a super high birth rate. Catholic schooling, I think, was mandatory.
Yeah,
I believe in Quebec. And there was some pretty right-wing stuff coming out of Quebec for quite some time, and now it's super gay. So, but yeah, I mean, he's cool.
Speaking of Canada, someone you don't have on your chart, Kennedy Hall.
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't have him. I think when I made this, I was trying to get the people that were known by the most people. I think Kennedy Hall is not as mainstream enough.
Yeah, that's true.
He's big as I'd probably put him in B just because he's a one-trick pony. It's just SSPX apologetics.
I'd say C.
Really? Okay.
I'd say C.
All right, now going into what I had originally for C2. Starting off, Bishop Barron, everyone's favorite Word on Fire Ministries.
I think he's an amazing church historian.
I don't even know about that.
You don't think so?
As a historian myself, I'll dox myself a little bit. I am a history major. I mean, I don't know. How can you be so well versed in church history and not be full trad?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Like, especially after seeing how far we've fallen, and then still be the way that like you are. I mean, all right. I think Barron's good for entry level people because he has some good.
He's like the Mitt Romney of Catholics.
Okay, I think that's a little bit of an insult. Mitt Romney, comparing him to a Mormon. You're calling a cleric of the church a Mormon? That is frankly disgusting. But yeah, I think he's definitely, when he hits, he hits. When he misses really bad. The whole Ben Shapiro interview, that was so cringe.
Don't even get me started.
The privileged route to salvation.
Yeah, that's all that shit from Vatican II. Reading the horrible language and coming up
Imagine
with your
telling a
own-
non-Catholic that, like, oh, you don't need to become Christian.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. Yeah, that was a pretty big L.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah. But Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
That interview.
That was
Barron's
wild.
trying he's like MSNBC trying to like
Oh,
get
yeah.
some interviewee that they have to like retract their statements.
Yeah, when LaBeouf was like, yeah, I love the TLM because it feels like they're not trying to sell me on something. And you could just see him like...
And Barron's like, well, how do you mean by that? What do you... none of us are trying to sell you on anything.
Latin Mass affects me deeply. And,
How come?
Because it feels like they're not selling me a car.
I personally, I don't listen to him much anymore, but I used to listen to a lot of the Word on Fire stuff.
Dude, my
a couple years ago.
That's a huge industry.
It is. It's massive.
Dude, so they made a Bible, the Word on Fire Bible.
Yeah, I've heard it's really pretty. I've seen pictures of it. I've never met anybody that has it yet. And
So my parents are subscribed to their like Liturgy of the Hours thing.
Okay.
And we have so many old ones that we use them as kindling for fire. Because like, it's every month we get one.
Yeah.
So like we have like a huge stack of these Word on Fire Liturgy of the Hours little booklets. I mean, apparently they're decent, but I'm like, it really feels like they've made a very good chunk of money on just like having a subscription-based theology thing.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I guess there's nothing inherently wrong, but I'm just like, damn, they really are big on making it like a purchasable thing. And
Yeah. No, it feels very TBN-esque.
yeah, because
like,
you can just
buy my book.
you could just like buy the Liturgy of the Hours and never have to subscribe to this monthly thing.
Yeah.
Where it's just some...
Or you can just get like that 99-cent app from the App Store and do the traditional Divine Office.
Yeah, like it's not... This isn't like esoteric knowledge. You can just Google this shit and get it for free. But yeah, so that's kind of why I put them there. There's been some weird things with Word on Fire.
Yeah, I don't know. I do really enjoy his history stuff. He's put out some really interesting stuff. Again, I haven't listened in probably a year, going on a year now. But I don't know. He just really turned me off a lot with the Ben Shapiro interview. I watched that live.
That was so cringe.
Yeah, it was so bad. And ever since then, I've kind of just I'm just leaving him in the dust.
And he's like, yeah, he's just like one of those guys. I think just by virtue of his age, just will never like fully buy into like the Latin Mass hype.
Yeah.
Or he'll just like call it a passing fad, no matter how much that's like proven to not be the case. So yeah, but maybe it's just because
I'd say C or D tier.
Yeah, he's a boomer.
Yeah.
He always goes on about how much he loves Bob Dylan, which is so ironic to me. Like, dude, like okay, like we can all have our personal cringy music tastes. I get it, but it's like dude,
I imagine his chancery.
He's not helping the stereotype.
I imagine his chancery to be like decorated with just a bunch of like Bob Ross
hippie
like shit. Yeah. It's like.
Okay, so Bishop Barron. Next up is the greatest picture I've ever found of Taylor Marshall. So I put him in C because he's kind of devolved into this. I mean, he says it himself, dad with a webcam.
Yeah.
Like he almost is. Viganò is like also kind of like the Alex Jones for our stratosphere, but Taylor Marshall definitely is. Right? He is.
Is awaiting judgment the bad category, or is that
no?
just
That's like we haven't put in the meta category.
I would put Taylor Marshall there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like he's good, but then he's like
Cringe.
really really cringe. Like I don't know. Sometimes it's too much.
Yeah, that I agree. Yeah, he can be too much, and like he'll like make videos, and he sometimes buys into like the weird like schizo posting Catholicism, where it's like people like dig way too much into like revelational like symbology, and like there's another eclipse. What could this mean?
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Like he's interviewing Mel Gibson himself, but then you click on the video and it's just him like reading his super chats. Like it's just like
he's like I texted Mel Gibson and here's what he said. It's like, dude, come on, that's not content. I have Brother Damon. Do you know who he is?
Is that?
He's a set of economists.
Yeah, the one that did the debate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
On Matt Fred's. Yeah, I thought he was awesome.
He's so weird. Like, but
he's weird, but he has some good arguments that make you think.
He make you think. Obviously, I don't condone the set of economists.
Yeah, no, me neither.
But,
for full legal Catholic disclosure.
Yeah, please do not excommunicate me, Papa Francis. Please don't. But yeah, he's a very interesting fellow. But it's like him and his brother run this like quote unquote monastery. It's all made up, but like. Yeah, he was very strong in his arguments.
I just think the SSPX guy wasn't prepared.
Definitely not. He got his ass whooped. He got fucking destroyed on air. So yeah, I guess there's not much else to say. Their website is like complete Catholic schizo posting. You should totally check it out just for amusement. But yeah. All right, next up. I think this guy might actually deserve F tier because this guy just makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, fire area. Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't there.
Father Casey from Breaking in the Habit.
Yeah.
Like breaking in your butthole.
More like back mountain. Fucking Francis style.
Yeah, dude, he is such a queer. I'm sorry. It's the bourbon talking now, but fuck it. It's trad tards.
Yeah.
If you want people to not say the F word, watch Pints with Aquinas. Or
he says it sometimes.
The Puffs with Peter podcast.
He says it sometimes.
Really?
He gets vulgar sometimes.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
He's been a little bit more...
Matt Trad?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
So yeah, Father Casey, very cringe. Horrible. He's had some very... You ever see the videos he does where it's like his like superior and they're like watching pop culture?
Yeah.
And his superior is like, why are you showing me this
He's
trash?
a Swiftie.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, he's a Swiftie.
Oh my god.
He might even be a Cardi B fan. It's yet to be seen.
Sorry, Father. I mean, is there anything like very specific about Father Casey besides him just being like an extreme homosexual? Yeah, I'm going off on this guy.
Yeah, no. I mean, a lot of stuff that I'd say about him, I probably shouldn't say on record. We're just gonna.
Okay, Benito Soprano. Non-attribution. Okay. All right. Next up, the Cowboy Catholic. Jimmy, dude, he just is greasy. He greasy as fuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I was telling you off the recording. I guess we'll put this on the recording now.
Yeah.
He is the complete imagery of some potbelly Ram truck driving guy living in a trailer park drinking Blue Ribbon all day.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not necessarily against that. It's just the thing is, he's like putting on airs to be that.
Yeah.
Like, I do not think this guy is as country as he says.
No, he's not.
Like,
He's ginger. He ain't no cowboy. He ain't no cowboy.
What are you trying to say? The Irish can't be cowboys, eh? You say that they can't be cowboys. Haven't you seen Red Dead Redemption? There's so many Irish in that. How could you say that?
I could have told you.
He thinks he can put a cowboy hat in a potato.
That's true.
And
he just comes off as like, if he wasn't Catholic, he'd be like the tipping fedora atheist. Like, I think he like went full autism on Catholicism, and was like, I gotta have a shtick.
Have you seen his debates with James White, this Protestant guy?
No.
Yeah.
I've seen him. Some of his debates are pretty good, but he comes off as like arrogant. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, he does.
It's
he
the way
arrogance
it's the way he speaks. Comes off very arrogant.
I think it's the straw hat.
I think it's like his whole mannerisms. Like, he comes off as like an annoying atheist, even though he's obviously Catholic.
Yeah. I think he's like the Gandalf of the Catholic realm.
Oh, that's just fucking mean to Gandalf. Why would you put down my boy Gandalf like that? Gandalf is like uber based,
except he's gay.
What? Oh, the actor?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually read the books.
Yeah.
I actually read Tolkien. Tolkien.
Base.
Very base. And Aiken, stop trying to be a fucking cowboy. You're cringe.
That's all we gotta say. That's Aiken. You ended up in the D tier just because of that straw hat.
Just because
take
you're
the
cringe.
straw hat off, and you might get to C, maybe even B. All right.
Yeah. Say some base things like, say Marcel Lefebvre wasn't the devil, and maybe we'll put you in B. All right. Up next, we are actually in Fiery Judgment, F tier. So obviously James Martin would be there. I don't even want to talk about James Martin. It's like he's just so everyone knows he's horrible.
Yeah.
Like that's not even a trad thing. It's like a mainstream thing. Everyone knows he's trash.
Yeah.
Somehow the Pope doesn't think that. But we have starting out, and he's had a crazy fall from grace. Michael Voris.
You know why he was removed?
He's extremely homosexual.
He took it in the butthole.
He said it, not me. Benito Soprano on record. He said
he took it in the butthole.
Yeah, he's a flaming one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never really liked him.
And I mean, well, they punched right a lot. They constantly were going after the SSPX.
You know, the good thing about him, the only good thing I will say, he has Trump-like hair.
No, his is worse than Trump's. Let's be very clear.
It is worse.
It's like,
but it's Trump-like.
It's very obvious. Like, the thing is, Trump's hair is like, okay, yeah, he's like, Trump is also in his 70s.
Yeah.
Like, the fact he has that much hair, I know it's like styled very specifically because his hair is not doing too hot, but he's like almost 80. I can give Trump a pass on his hair. Voris is wearing like very obviously like a wig, or he has like the worst stylist and barber in the world. Like I don't know. And you think for someone who's homosexual, you have better style.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
Just saying, if you're gonna be gay, at least like have the only perk of being gay is like what, having a good sense of style. Maybe.
True.
So up next, Michael Lofton.
Yeah, he's just an apostate.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was. And let's not, completely go off the rails against him. He's like Aiken, but worse. Because he's constantly like counter-signaling tradition. That's something he does a lot.
Yeah.
He got, Cardinal Zen?
Yep.
Cardinal Zen, like, literally said he was cringe. Like, Cardinal Zen, like, roasted his ass. Imagine getting roasted by,
like one of the holiest cardinals.
Yeah, the cardinal was, like,
world.
literally fighting the Chinese Communist Party, like, tooth and nail. And he decides, of all of the Catholic influencers, to roast you specifically. Like, I don't even know how you're supposed to recover from that.
I don't think you do. Is he even Catholic right now? I don't even know.
He is Catholic,
Okay.
Yes. He went Orthodox. He was Catholic, and then he went Orthodox, and then he reverted back to...
So now he's okay with the filioque?
Apparently so. I don't... That's the thing, and he always puts on airs of being an intellectual. I think he has a doctorate. Mm-hmm. But it's like, dude, you literally, like, went to schism and then came back and, like, are trying to, like, tell trads that they're, like, horrible people. And last but not least, the Holy Father himself.
Papa Francesco.
I mean, what is there to say?
Do you think... he's from Argentina. Do you think he knows where Hitler's bunker is?
Hitler? Did he know Hitler in Argentina? Maybe. Hitler. We're not talking about Hitler. Hitler. Very different guy. Incredibly different person. For YouTube, just to be very clear, we're talking about Hitler.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the greatest board game that TradCaths love is Secret Hitler.
Secret Hitler, yes. We love that game. An amazing game. The best game. Yeah, man. Yeah, I played in a while.
Francis, where do we put our most holy father? We can't say anything other than we put him in awaiting judgment.
Yeah, and I think that might be best for our status. The Jesuits are going to dox us.
We're going to end up on American Magazine.
American Magazine is going to have a hit piece about trad tards. The hit new trad podcast that's subverting the nation's youth.
What are the chances that one day Francis listens to trad tards?
No, I think he does, man.
Yeah?
Dude, he's probably...
He's subscribed.
I mentioned this in the last episode. Francis is totally a listener.
He might be.
I guess that wraps up the tier list.